Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, bringing you another cryptocurrency video. In today's video, we're going to be answering the question, what is EOS? Now, EOS is a decentralized cryptocurrency. It's an ERC20 token built off the back of Ethereum, and it's a cryptocurrency that was created by a guy named Dan Larimer. Now, EOS is a very similar token to Ethereum so far as it does the same things with giving developers tools to actually build decentralized applications off the backbone of EOS in the same way that EOS is built off the backbone of Ethereum. It's a very similar system to Ethereum, but it actually does just about everything that Ethereum does, and it does it a lot better. It right off the bat solves the scalability problems that Ethereum is currently having, and the scalability problems with Ethereum is that Ethereum can only process up to around 50 transactions per second. It's normally lower than that. EOS is going to be able to process nearly 10 million transactions per second based off of their Delegated Proof of Stake system, which also has to do with their witnesses system, and their is basically a representative democracy. It's similar to a republic, if you're familiar with governance terms. It's similar to the way a republic works in that people that actually hold EOS token are going to be able... I'll get into that in a bit. I'm going to be getting into how the actual proof of stake system with EOS works in a little bit, but first I want to talk about the backstory of EOS and where I think EOS is going to go, what I think EOS is, and just overall give a good summary of EOS. So EOS is created by a guy named Dan Larimer. Now, Dan Larimer is also the creator of a decentralized application called Steemit. And when he was developing the decentralized application called Steemit, which is a social media platform, you may be familiar with it if you've been in cryptocurrency for a while. It's similar to Facebook and Twitter, like kind of mixed together, but it's actually built off of a decentralized blockchain, which Dan Larimer and his team had to build independently. Now, the reason that he wanted to build EOS is because he found that a lot of the problems that he ran into were because he was not able to build the blockchain for Steemit off of Ethereum. Now, something like Steemit, which is a very successful decentralized blockchain application, in theory should be able to be built off of Ethereum, but it wasn't really possible to be built off of Ethereum because a lot of the problem with Ethereum, and I'm going to use a graphic that Mr. Data Dash drew here. I'm gonna steal your graphic. Sorry, Data Dash. He's got beautiful drawing. One of the problems that they ran into is that when you use the Ethereum blockchain to build an application, you also have to have the end user interface with a lot of Ethereum's software, like wallets and whatnot. So this is a little graphic that Data Dash drew in one of his videos. This is the end user right here, and this is the website. For Steemit, up here at the top, the end user is able to directly interface with the website without having any idea that they're on a decentralized platform. They might as well not be on a decentralized platform. The decentralized bit of the platform is completely invisible and completely unobtrusive. If they were to build a platform like Steemit off of Ethereum, you would need end user A here, or end user B here, to download a bunch of Ethereum hardware, get familiar with Ethereum, and then they can use the website to its fullest extent. But everything that they want to use in Steemit is built into the website, and it's built into the blockchain itself. So what does that mean? EOS, being developed by the same person that developed Steemit up here, is aiming to create the same thing that they were able to do with Steemit, but make it a lot easier for independent developers that are developing decentralized applications to actually be able to develop applications like Steemit without having the user have to go through all those steps of downloading wallets and getting familiar with all the different Ethereum problems, with all the different Ethereum software and whatnot. They're aiming to be able to create a platform where developers can build decentralized applications without the end user having any idea that they're on a decentralized application. That is the ultimate goal. That's the holy grail. If you can do that, then that completely removes any barrier to entry for someone to be on a decentralized platform and allows for blockchain to directly compete with companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, because there's nothing in the way. Relating to that, there's something that's very important about EOS that is not practical with Ethereum. EOS has a system called Delegated Proof of Stake, which allows anyone holding EOS to participate in elections, as they're called. These elections happen very, very frequently, several times per minute, many times per minute, and they are held by anyone holding EOS. Anyone holding EOS can participate in these elections, and what these elections do is they elect. If you're holding EOS, you're a stakeholder, and if you're a stakeholder, you are able to elect a delegate called a witness. And a witness is someone that has access to a data center, and with that data center, they are able to validate the transactions on the EOS blockchain. Now, why is that important? Now, the reason that that's important is because it's a very democratic, it's a democratic Republican system. If you're familiar with governance, you can relate Ethereum to a direct democracy where the individual is able to vote on each and every bill, and you can relate EOS to a republic where the individuals, the stakeholders as they're called, similar to the way they are in a company, these stakeholders, which is anyone holding EOS, they are able to elect witnesses, and these witnesses on their behalf validate transactions. Whereas Ethereum holders in a proof of stake system that they're moving towards would be able to do that on their own. So the reason that's important is because it means that there is a lot of competition in the EOS blockchain, in the EOS network, for people to get these positions of witnesses. There's only 20 positions of witnesses. And by the way, each of these witnesses will be able to process nearly 100,000 transactions per second, which is insane. You need a very high transactions per second. You need a lot of transactions per second to be able to process many different decentralized apps that will be built off of the EOS blockchain. Now, the reason that you need that is because everything on a decentralized platform that's on a blockchain has to be stored in the blockchain. So you have to be able to fit all that information in the blockchain, which it really helps if you have a lot of transactions per second. So EOS is able to attain nearly 10 million transactions per second, which blows any conventional currency or any conventional credit card company, any of them, out of the water. Visa has about a 40,000 transaction per second cap, and they don't normally hit that. They're normally about 10,000 to 15,000 transactions per second. 10 million transactions per second allows for near unlimited amounts of platforms to be built off of the EOS blockchain, which really does solve the scalability problem that a lot of cryptocurrencies are talking about. That's where Bitcoin Cash came from, is that Bitcoin has a scalability problem where the fees are very high. That's another thing about EOS. EOS has no fees. It has no need. It doesn't have the same problem that Ethereum does, where Ethereum needs to use gas and you need to pay fees to everyone. It doesn't have that problem. There are no fees, which means that the end user, when they're using the platforms that are built off of EOS, are able. That was my dog sneezing. Sorry. When the end user is using the platform, they don't have to worry about fees to actually use the platform, which would normally a developer that's building a platform would take that into account, so that the end user doesn't have to worry about that. But it really helps get these applications that will be built off of the EOS blockchain more mainstream. It gives them the edge that they need to be competitive against companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc. So let's talk about the EOS ICO for a little bit. EOS is an ICO that started, I believe it started in around June or July of last year in 2017. It's going to have a total market, not a total market cap, it's going to have a total circulating supply of 900 million coins. They're going to be releasing 1 billion coins, but I believe they're going to be holding on to 100 million of them for themselves, which I can't blame them. The total supply, coin market cap's lagging. The total supply is going to be 900 million EOS. The maximum supply is going to be 100 million EOS. The developers are going to hold on to 100 million EOS for the purposes of just in case. You know, it's good for the developers to have a little bit of EOS so that they're able to influence things if they have to. The price of EOS right now is around. Well, actually, let's go back to the ICO. I want to talk about the way the ICO is working. Since I'm in the U.S., they're actually not allowing U.S. customers to participate in the ICO. I'm not really sure why. I couldn't find a good reason for this. It probably has something to do with U.S. regulation. But the ICO is going to be releasing 1 billion coins. 100 million of them have already gone to them. And they release 2 million coins per day on a scale of about 350 days. So they're going to be releasing 2 million coins per day for the entirety of, well, about a year since they started. And they started about 8 months ago. There's about 4 months to go on the ICO before they release all the coins. Oh, excuse me. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. And once all of the coins are released, that's going to be all the coins that are minted. And if they need to release more into the ecosystem, then they can do so off of the coins that they've held for themselves. Now, the way that you can participate in the ICO is you would normally click right here if you were not in the US or if you're using a VPN. If you want to get into this, use a VPN. You can go on Binance and buy it also. The way this ICO is working is they're giving the ICO out at market price. So if you don't want to participate in the ICO, you can just as easily just go buy it on an exchange. But if you want to participate in the ICO, then you can use Ethereum to do so. So it's a really good project. It's a very, very powerful project. It does everything that Ethereum is doing, except it does it better. Now, I want to use some graphics here that a person posted on Steemit to really illustrate why EOS is so much better. With, let's see, which one of these do I want to show you? There's several. Yeah, I'm going to show you this one right here. Shout out to, I forgot his name, the Scramit001. I will post this in the description. Shout out to him for these graphics. I'm not sure if they're his, but I'm going to say they're his because they're on his post. But this graphic right here shows some of the core differences between EOS and Ethereum. EOS in a single thread, which a single thread would be one witness that I was talking about earlier, are able to process anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000 transactions per second because of the way the network works. Parallelization will scale the network to millions of transactions per second. That parallelization is the 20 witnesses I was talking about. Support thousands of commercial-scale decentralized applications, and that's possible because there are near unlimited transactions per second. 10 million transactions per second is a lot of transactions per second. You could fit a very, very major social media network into 10 million transactions per second pretty easily. There's a lot of technicalities down here that make the EOS system a bit better. Sorry, I'm moving my chair so I can actually see. Ethereum is currently limited in a lot of ways. They're limited because they're still on a proof of work system. They're trying to move to a proof of stake system, which is going to be complicated to say the least. They're currently limited to below 50 transactions per second. EOS is already doing vastly, vastly, vastly more transactions per second than that. And Vitalik Buterin has laid out a roadmap to unlimited scalability using the concept of sharding, which is technologically challenging and currently in progress. So EOS at the very outset is going to have technology that is able to do everything that Ethereum is saying that they want to do, but EOS already has it implemented. EOS is better than Ethereum in pretty much every single way. There's nothing really holding EOS back from becoming what Ethereum is now. Now, a lot of people compare EOS to an Ethereum killer, and frankly, after doing the research for this video, I can't really say they're wrong. EOS is extremely undervalued right now. If you're watching this as this video came out, the value is only about $15, and if we look at the chart here, let's go back to the chart here. Let's go to the markets here. That's not what I meant to do, but as you can see, you can actually get EOS on Bitfinex, BitHum, Binance, Binance again, Bitfinex again, Kraken. You can get it just about anywhere. If you want to get EOS, I would recommend having some of this in your portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. But if you're looking to have a coin that will have a large amount of growth potential, EOS is probably a good hold, in my opinion. And one of the reasons I say that is also because EOS has an all-time high right around $18. It pulled back in the recent pullback that we've seen in cryptocurrency. But for a lot of the pullback that we've seen in cryptocurrency recently, it's been running up. It doubled during the time that Bitcoin was cutting in half. And after its pullback to about, I think it's about $8 right down here. Yeah, right around $8. It's already back up to $14 about a week later. Not even a week later, 3 days later. It's up 32%, or it's up 33% on the day. And this is a coin that was worth 50 cents. This is a coin that was worth 50 cents about 6 months ago. Back when I got into cryptocurrency, let's see. I got into cryptocurrency like this day right here. It was worth $1.70. When I first learned about it, it was worth about 50 cents. Right around here. Right in September, I learned about it, and it was worth 50 cents. And I tried to buy some, but at the time, it was only on Bitfinex, and I didn't feel like going through Bitfinex's verification process. But I really wish I had bought some, and I'm going to be buying some soon. And if you're looking for a coin that has a very large amount of growth potential, that has real-world applications that we already know are viable because it's doing what Ethereum's doing, it's doing it better, and Ethereum is already very successful because Ethereum is doing what it's saying it's doing. That alone shows how much growth potential EOS has. Ethereum doesn't have the insanely powerful brand name that Bitcoin has that's stopping it from being usurped. Ethereum can be usurped by EOS. It might take a couple of years, but with EOS's fundamentally stronger and fundamentally better technology, it's not impossible that EOS will usurp Ethereum. EOS could easily be over $100 by the end of the year. It's gone up, what, 30 times in the last, 3 months? If it went up 3 times in the next month, I would be kind of surprised I'd be surprised if it didn't do that, rather. Let's see if I can actually get back here to the market cap to show you the value differential here between Ethereum and EOS. A lot of people draw connections between Ethereum and EOS, and it's with good reason. EOS is worth about a tenth of what about 11th or 12th of what Ethereum is worth right now, and it has better technology. It just doesn't have the brand name, and it doesn't have the actual applications built on top of it that Ethereum does currently. So EOS has a very, very, very bright future. It has very powerful technology. It has everything going for it that Ethereum says it wants to do, but it's already implemented into EOS. So anyway, guys, that's going to be the video for today. If you're interested in EOS, there's always going to be places that you can find it. You can find it on exchanges. Binance, I recommend signing up for Binance. I think there'll be a link in the description for Binance if you're interested in signing up. I'm not sure if there is yet or not. But either way, guys, if you have any questions about EOS, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. I will also link this thread post right here, which is on Steemit. This is a very, very, very in-depth and good resource if you're trying to learn what EOS is. This is a great resource, and this really helped me do research for this video. CoinMarketCap, as always. Datadash's video right here, I'll link that in the description down below since I did reference it. And I'll also link the ICO if you want to buy some, and you're not in the US or you have a VPN. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I have not forgotten about that Litecoin giveaway. I was going to do it today, but since I was doing this video and I was going to try and make this video not timeless, I'm going to be doing the Litecoin giveaway tomorrow. I haven't forgotten about that. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please think about leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.